we need to get this newel cut so that it sits, instead of being like over here, I need to notch it and cut it down so that the newel is centered on this piece of wood. So that's our next assignment here. Here we have the newel. Since it's gonna straddle a stair, I'm gonna take away this section here. This section will sit on the outside of the stair, and then that top piece of wood is gonna come right along here. I think I'm gonna cut a little bit less than I need to and come back and recut it if I need to, so that I don't waste $150 on a newel. So I think the way to get rid of this...
Is that because then you would need a renewal?
I would need to renewal the newel. I will set the depth of this to go down, which is actually really close as it is. Well, maybe I'll just leave it how that is. And then make cross cuts like this, and then knock the wood away. I've seen some guys do it on YouTube. Thank you guys for paving the way for that. We'll see if I can do it now. The professional guys use a table saw or some kind of sliding saw to do this. All I have is this circular handsaw, but it actually worked surprisingly well, and I'm pretty pleased with the outcome. Well, that actually goes pretty smoothly. Then you just use your hands to break it. So you score it a bunch of times and then just pull it apart. Then I'll come in with a sander and even this out. So take a look at this. This was solid down at the base, but this top part was hollow. So when I go to screw this in, I'm gonna keep that in mind, utilize the solid body, and then hopefully find a way to... Okay, it feels like this is solid up here again, starting like here. But this section here is hollow. So. That looks like a pretty decent fit, actually. So I think that this is pretty much centered on the newel. The newel is straddling the stair. Here you can see it from this side. So cut away all this part. This part sits on top of the step. It's at least good for a first cut, and kind of clean it up as need be. All right, so at the hardware store, the lumber guy suggested to install a newel. I get these, how big are these? 8-inch screws, so it'll go through and bite into the stair quite a bit. But then the head would also be sticking out like that. Oh, I'm not a big fan of that look. So I'm countersinking and then have these little filler pieces that I'm going to use to plug those holes afterwards. So here's what I'm doing. I've got a 1-inch paddle bit, and if I push it in too much, it'll just bite and bind up. So I kind of alternate between going forward and then backing it up, and then going forward and then backing it up, and then going forward, backing it up, and that'll probably get me the depth that I need. This project is still underway. I still need to do all of the banisters and handrail and all of this, but getting this newel in place feels like a really good first step. So it's not the most perfect thing that's ever been done, but if I can do it, and this is my first try, then you can do it on your first try. You can even see here in this shot, like I still need to do a little bit of sanding. I need to glue these little filler pieces in, but hopefully this video empowers you to get out there and go do it yourself. You are a handyman. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Spirit of a Handyman. Hit the subscribe button if you'd like to stay in the loop on other projects that I'm taking on, or comment down below on a project you'd like to see me tackle. I'm not a professional, don't claim to be. I'm just like you, trying to do it myself and save a couple bucks, and hopefully by watching these videos you feel a little empowered to get out there and do it yourself. The question becomes, how do we cut away this wood? How do we get rid of this?
Beavers.
Leave it outside. Leave it to beaver.
Leave it to beaver.
Just mark it. I think blue paint. The beavers are drawn to the blue. Or